Hey guys, it's Miss Shelmo. Just reporting in from home with a video for you guys. So just checking in with everybody. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, yes, on Monday I did take a tumble down my back porch stairs and I snapped my arm in half. So as per the doctors, I can't be in for the rest of this week and probably half of next week. Now, I don't want to be out. I like spending time with you guys, but it's doctor's orders. So I've been spending all of my time taking my meds as I'm supposed to and really resting up for you guys and, well, playing a lot of video games. So I have a couple of announcements for you guys. Again, I'm not going to be here and I haven't been here, and I'm sorry it was so spur of the moment, but I want to let you guys know how proud I am of you for your good behavior because I haven't gotten any phone calls or any emails, and especially for my sixth graders for getting your work done on time. I am incredibly proud of you, especially for those of you who logged on and even tried to look at your projects without me. I know Illustrator is really tricky, and I'm really, really proud of you guys for trying your best. But as we need to turn in our projects so I can get those graded. I will have your grades in by the 26th. Do not fear. But once they're in by the 26th, they are in by the 26th. So check your synergy and make sure that all of the stuff that you're missing is turned in. Email me, message me on Canvas. I'm a slow typer, but I can type, so I will do my best. Your sub should have already walked you through this. Just turning in your project as it is. I'll grade it as it is. Do not worry about completion. All right, don't worry about it. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on because I have a new project for you. Since I'm not gonna be there and there's not a lot of people who really know Illustrator as well as I do in the school, we are gonna be working offline. I have a really fun create your own font activity. So let me pause real quick. I'll share my screen and we will go ahead and begin our presentation. Yay. So, what is typography? This is our first lesson. So this is an intro to typography, which is a word you're going to hear me use an awful lot. I really, 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 really like typography. So what is it? So typography is the language of lettering. If you've watched the Paula Scher video, you've already got some sort of idea of what typography is, but it is the design and use of typefaces as the means of communication. So everything you see around you, any sort of text, any sort of letters, any sort of numbers, those all have a stylized font. So there are all sorts of different types of fonts, and they're really important, A, for conveying the information. So if you've got a brochure, you've got a book, you have a flyer, it's really important that your typeface is legible or readable. But for different other occasions, especially for concert posters or for logos, they can really be decorative. So typography began being used first with the printing press, the Gutenberg, but it was actually typography and the printing press was invented in ancient China way before Gutenberg was even born. But lettering and typography is, again, super duper important. So think about some types, think about some typographies. I know some of us know some fonts, especially if we like to play around in our Google Slides, if we like to play around in Google Docs. So your fonts are really just your different styles of letters. So I've got a couple of examples here I can show you. I've got this awesome concert flyer. It's got all sorts of different fonts. This is for Angel Dust. I've also got another metal show flyer here, just a little one. But you've got some really interesting shapes of letters that you can use. So a font really is boiled down to it's letters. So to make a font, we make letters. So let's talk about the different types, the basic parts of a letter. So this is specifically for Anglo-Saxon style lettering. So that is any language that uses this style. So this is some of Russian, but most of the Romantic languages. So that's Spanish, it's French. All of these have the same kind of style of letters. So that's what we're really going to be talking about. So the basic parts of a letter are pretty simple. We've got our baseline. So let me use my little mouse. The baseline is the bottom. That is where the bottom of your letter lies. So that's where you're going to start your letter. It's where you're going to end your letter. This will be familiar to you if you remember learning how to write in like kindergarten. I'm hoping you don't, but like if you do, that's pretty cool. You've got your bar or your arm. All right, this is only for like A's, R's, H's. The mean line, that's just kind of, so the mean line is when you're talking about hand lettering in particular, where the middle of each of your shapes should come. So in terms of a lowercase letter, that is going to be the tippy top of a lowercase letter, and it could be anywhere from the middle or 3/4 of your top letter. That's completely subjective. The stem, we have very liney letters, so that's going to be any long stem and anything. And if it goes underneath your baseline, that is a descender. So if it goes under the baseline, that's a descender. That's G's, J's, and Y's. You can add descenders if you want to be fancy, but it's something to pay attention to when you're doing, especially like paragraphs or flyers, because your descenders can run into each other and make it really tricky to really know what's going on. The only real important thing here, other than the basics that I want you to take away, is this cap height. That's what I was talking about earlier. So let's look at the definition. So this is the distance from the baseline to the top of uppercase letters. That's like B or H. These ones reach all the way to the tippy top. See that? So it's the top of lowercase letters and the tippy top of the tallest letters. So there are lots of different styles of lettering. So there are two main ones that I want you to take away: serifs and sans serif. Highlight that a little hard with one arm. So serif fonts are divided into sans and serif. Serif fonts are distinguishable by the extra decorative line at the end of the characters. These were created back in ancient Roman times when the letters that we know today were starting to be really invented and stylized. Back then, they were able to chisel their letters in. They had to use a little pointy stick and a little hammer. So the serifs were formed when they initially put the hammer into the stone, and they're like, you know what, let's make it decorative. Let's add a serif to everything so it doesn't look like it's arbitrary. So this would be Times New Roman in Georgia. And sans serif, they just don't have those extra decorative lines. They're very casual, they're very chill, very easy to read, easy on the eyes, and are very common in fonts that are easy to read for students, for children, and for folks with hard eyesight. 3 cases in lettering: upper, lower, and mixed. You guys can kind of tell what's going on. Uppercase, that's caps lock. Lowercase. And mixed, that's your capital letter and your lowercase letters. 3 styles of lettering: poster style, script style, and trademark. So this is what I want you guys to be working on today. So this is the worksheet. I'm just going to run over it with you. Make sure you put your name, your class period. So that is to even, to odd, and the date. Make sure your date's on there. You guys are in middle school. You should be getting this by now. You're going to label the parts of your letter, and you're going to do 4 styles of lettering. So find an example in a magazine. Now, I don't have any magazines for you, but what I do have constant access to is the internet. So what I want you guys to do, instead of copying and pasting or gluing and cutting out a letter, I want you guys to copy it as best as you can. I've noticed a lot of you are using the Lightbox technique with your Chromebooks, where you'll take your Chromebook, you'll put your paper on top and trace it. Fabulous. I highly encourage that. See if you can give that a shot. So a quick tip for that, just Google Roman style letters, poster style letters, script style letters, and unusual style letters. Check out Google Images and find one you like. Now you've got 3 boxes down here. This is important. This is what I'm looking for, okay, guys? You need to do 3 separate fonts, all right? And they are totally up to you. You could do a plain font or you could do a really fancy font. I want to see your creativity. Use your colors. My colored pencils and my markers and my crayons are totally fair game. Use your pens, use your brain, and you can do any letter you'd like. Most of us will stick to, like, you know, an M for Miss Shamo or an S for Shamo, but pick a letter that you think will be easy for you to do. Don't just do a basic blocks letter. Don't just do a basic bubble letter. Do some graffiti letters, or do a brand letter, or just spruce it up. Really make it your own. This will be due at the end of next class, not this class, but by the end of next class. Your sub will be collecting these and I will be grading these, both on participation and completion. So make sure you get this done. This will be the first grade of your 9 weeks. Don't mess it up. That'll make your parents really mad. If you need any questions, please ask your sub and they will email me. And again, if you really need to get in contact with me, you can hit me up on Canvas, but I'm pretty much more responsive on like Instagram Messenger. Don't send me anything inappropriate. I know I've seen some of y'all. Don't be shisty on there. I will let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated. I have a doctor's appointment next week, next Monday. So I'll let you know what they say. And I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.